low libido, weakness, muscle loss, brittle bones, sleep issues, fatigue, and poor self-esteem. None of us want this, not at 20, not at 40, not at 80 years old. This set of symptoms may be justified by a suboptimal concentration of testosterone. And you might ask, what can I do? Well, to optimize testosterone levels, there are 3 well-defined paths. Habits, supplements, and drugs. Habits are the most important, and we have seen them in other videos like this one. As for testosterone replacement therapy, testosterone replacement or substitute therapy, it is the order of the day, as you know, but it is relegated to people with a clinically defined diagnosis of hypogonadism. In addition, if misused, it is not free of side effects. What about supplements? Are there substances with few side effects that raise your testosterone? Are they really effective? Is it worth spending money on these compounds? Today we analyze 5 of the main testosterone boosters and their supposed effectiveness. But first, what is a testosterone booster? A testosterone booster is a non-scientific term that refers to any supplement, natural product, or nutraceutical supposedly capable of increasing testosterone levels in the body. They are therefore consumed almost exclusively by males. How do they work? Well, they differ in their mechanism of action. Some aim to stimulate the natural production of testosterone in the testicles, mainly through their antioxidant action. Others inhibit the conversion of testosterone to estrogen, acting on aromatase, the enzyme present in fat, which is responsible for converting testosterone to estradiol. Others increase the free fraction of testosterone, and others reduce cortisol levels or somehow improve the metabolic environment, creating more suitable conditions for your own biosynthesis of testosterone. Today we're going to look at 5 of the most popular T-boosters, starting with the Ashwagandha. Stress, anxiety, and depression negatively impact sexual performance and androgen levels. The more stress, the less testosterone and libido, something you've probably been able to verify for yourself. This is where a category of molecules called adaptogens come into play, substances that help you cope with stress much better. The most studied adaptogen with the most evidence is called ashwagandha, and the extract from its root has shown interesting properties. In this extract, we find withanolidase, the main bioactive compound, which comes from the name of the plant, the sleep-inducing withania. Can the withanolides from ashwagandha boost your testosterone? Under certain circumstances, yes. In a clinical trial, 50 healthy men took 600 milligrams of ashwagandha or a placebo. They were given a questionnaire on sexual performance and satisfaction, and plasma changes in testosterone and prolactin were measured over the 8 weeks of the study. The results? Well, those who took ashwagandha significantly improved their sexual function and also increased their testosterone on average by 15%. We're talking about total testosterone. And this, for being a supplement, is a lot. It could be the difference between having 300 nanograms per deciliter, which would be at the lower limit of normal, to 345 just by taking this supplement. You might say the difference is minor. No, it's not, but it's something to consider. What is less surprising is the improvement in sexual performance, as the placebo effect here is very, very powerful. Another trial in overweight men aged 40-70 found a similar improvement, with about a 15% increase in testosterone. We could conclude that ashwagandha is an adaptogen that can be considered a T-booster and that it has some effectiveness in raising testosterone levels. But it achieves this, and this is important for you to understand, through its anxiolytic and antioxidant effects, which you can reach by other means. What would your testosterone be like if you weren't so stressed? Ashwagandha helps you achieve this. During highly stressful times, besides the basics, I often take the Clear Mind formula containing ashwagandha, rhodiola, saffron, and zinc. Shilajit. Shilajit is a natural substance from the Himalayan mountains. This curious, tar-like substance forms through the decomposition of organic matter, both animal and plant, by microorganisms. It contains bioactive compounds like fulvic acid, dibenzopyrones, and chromoproteins. And it is classically used in Ayurvedic medicine as a rasayana, that is, as a substance that supposedly enhances vitality and longevity. Remember to take all of this with a grain of salt. It appears to be a thick, unappealing paste that doesn't look very tasty. As for evidence in humans, we have very little, frankly. The few studies that exist point to an increase in testosterone production, improvement in sperm count and semen quality, preservation of lean mass, and increase in bone mineral density. You might say, it sounds very good. Yes, it sounds good, but once again, the studies are few and of low quality. if we look, for example, at this one, in which Shilajit improved seminal parameters in infertile men and increased total testosterone levels by 23.5%. Although it's a good increase, we don't know if the same happens with fertile men, and it probably doesn't. The doses used in clinical trials range from 200 to 2000 milligrams per day, although the most commonly used dosage is 500 milligrams per day divided into 2 doses. In conclusion, the limited evidence available observes mild to moderate increases in total testosterone and improvements in seminal parameters, however, in infertile or hypogonadal population. Although the studies that exist are positive, it is really too early to be able to recommend it. Eurycoma longifolia or Tongkat ali. Tongkat ali, Eurycoma longifolia or Malaysian ginseng, is a plant used in traditional Southeast Asian medicine, especially in Malaysia and Indonesia. In recent years, it has gained a lot of popularity in the West in fitness circles as a very effective T booster. But is this true? This systematic review and meta-analysis supports the effectiveness of Tongkat ali as a booster of endogenous testosterone production. However, testosterone rises more in hypogonadal men again than in healthy ones, just as it happens with Shilajit. That is, the worse your testosterone is, the more effect it has. A common pattern with T boosters. But how does it work? Well, it has a triple action. First, it stimulates the production of gonadotropins, LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone. Recall that LH stimulates testosterone production in the testis Leydig cells. It also inhibits aromatase, reducing testosterone's conversion into estrogen. And finally, some bioactive compounds have anti-estrogenic activity. This would contribute to the improvement of spermatogenesis and testosterone production in males. The most commonly used patent is called FISTA, and the doses range between 100 and 600 milligrams daily. Conclusion: with slightly more evidence than Shilajit, Tongkat ali is a testosterone booster to consider mainly in hypogonadal, subfertile, or infertile individuals. Fenugreek, a classic testosterone booster. We continue with another plant, with a traditional use and later brought into the world of fitness. Its seeds are rich in bioactive compounds such as glycosides and saponins, with diosgenin being the most interesting. Its potential anabolic effects have been studied quite a bit, which it achieves through 3 different pathways. Inhibition of aromatase once again, and also of 5-alpha reductase, which increases testosterone by preventing it from converting into estradiol and dihydrotestosterone respectively, second way by increasing free testosterone, and third through beneficial metabolic effects, or as the improvement in glucose metabolism or the reduction in chronic inflammation. In this trial, 300 milligrams of fenugreek extract was used twice a day for a period of 8 weeks in combination, and this is important, with a well-supervised strength program. The results of this specific study are very optimistic, as it almost doubled the levels of free testosterone compared to the placebo group without significantly modifying total testosterone. Remember that free testosterone and the one bound to albumin are the ones that have the ability to exert biological actions. They form the bioavailable testosterone. In addition, participants who received fenugreek experienced a reduction in body fat and an improvement in muscle strength and endurance, measured by the number of repetitions to failure in leg press and bench press exercises. In conclusion, it is one of the most effective in increasing bioavailable testosterone, although its effects on total testosterone are quite limited in healthy individuals. It can slightly improve libido and athletic performance. Zinc is an essential trace element for many processes in men and women. In males, it is needed for the biosynthesis of testosterone, and one thing is certain, plasma zinc levels correlate with androgen levels. But does this mean that supplementing with zinc will raise my testosterone? Well, this is much less clear, and it seems to only occur when these factors coalesce. There is a low dietary intake of zinc and plasma levels are deficient, but there are also previously low or reduced testosterone concentrations. The same occurs with vitamin D and magnesium. Supplementing them can slightly increase testosterone levels if previous dietary intake is low. In conclusion, zinc is very important and is a mineral that you must take, but it will not increase your testosterone unless you have a very deficient intake. So do these supplements work or not, Borja? Well, you've already seen it. As you've seen, I'm not very enthusiastic about T boosters. They work, but with very limited effects, which are nowhere near the biological effect that drugs can have, obviously. And they work especially or better in hypogonadal patients in whom testosterone production, for one reason or another, has already been affected, mainly by age or pathology. and I can't quite find the place for these T boosters, since these hypogonadal patients should benefit from testosterone replacement therapy. Once this happens, using these supplements would be completely unnecessary. That is, if you have good habits and are healthy, these supplements probably won't change your analytics, your sports results, or your muscle mass too much. If we have to order them according to their effectiveness and volume of evidence, especially the latter, this would be the proposed order. First would come the Ashwagandha, then the Fenugreek, then the Tongkat, the Shilajit, and the Zinc. Ashwagandha and Fenugreek are well studied, while Tongkat and Shilajit are less researched. As seen, Zinc plays a minor role. As a final warning, they should never be taken without a prior clinical evaluation and subsequent monitoring. It's fair to question whether it's worth spending on these supplements, since the benefit is small, they are not cheap, the studies are small and often poorly designed, the providers are sometimes not entirely transparent, and they can sometimes generate side effects. Except for Ashwagandha, as of today the recommendation strength is rather low for these T boosters. Better optimize your habits, and if you really need it at the time, consider a well-done hormone replacement therapy. Other T boosters include Tribulus terrestris, maca, boron, saw palmetto, and dihydroepiandrosterone. If this video has interested you and it gets over 100,000 views, we will get to work to make the next one. Big hugs, see you next video, and keep empowering.